Hi, welcome to this course on managing intrusive thoughts. I'm psychologist Dr. Traci Moreno. We'll be moving through this course like we would in therapy. In therapy, it's not just about the sessions themselves, it's about practicing the concepts and tools outside of therapy between sessions. This is how you'll find the most success. For this session, you'll need a pen and paper for an exercise that I'll guide you through. If you don't already have it, just please pause this recording and start again when you're ready. When we're making deep-rooted changes in our cognition, it takes a great deal of conscious, constant effort. You can also expect to be mentally drained, but this will get easier the more you practice, just like anything else. The more you practice, you'll find that you begin doing it more naturally without having to put so much conscious thought into it. So let's begin. We need to be able to separate our thoughts from our behavior. This is a concept used when working with people on anger management. One of the first questions I ask them is, do you think there's a difference between anger and aggression? When people think anger and aggression are one and the same, then they most likely have a problem managing their anger. So it's really important to make this differentiation. Anger is the emotion and aggression is the behavior. As an example of this, think about if you've ever wanted to yell at someone but stopped yourself. Have you ever wanted to cry but held it in? Or have you ever wanted to jump up with excitement but kept your cool instead? This is how we separate our emotions from our behavior. Allow yourself to feel what you feel. Don't react to it. Give yourself a moment to feel and think, and then respond. We want to try to avoid reacting and instead respond. When we react, we're almost taking on the other person's energy and giving it right back to them. So if they're angry, we react in anger back. However, when we respond, it has little to do with their energy or emotions. We are now evaluating how we feel and responding back. We are owning our own energy and not allowing other people to control or dictate it. Go ahead and grab your pen and paper and let's do an exercise together so that you can apply this to your own life. Please write your answers to these questions. I'll give you about 30 seconds or so between each question. But if you need more time, go ahead and just pause the recording and play it when you're ready to go for the next question. Think about a time you reacted to an emotionally charged situation. And I want you to write down just a brief description of that situation. How did you react? Go ahead and write that down. What was the result of your reaction? Were there any consequences from your reaction? Is there any way you could have handled the situation differently that would have had a better result? Now we're going to answer the same questions using a situation in which you responded instead of reacted. So think about a time you responded to an emotionally charged situation. Write down a brief description of that situation. How did you respond? What was the result of your response? Were there any consequences from your response? Is there any way you could have handled the situation differently that would have had a better result? In most situations, we'll have less consequences and better results when we respond as opposed to react. For your therapy homework, I want you to practice separating your thoughts from your behavior. Allow and acknowledge your emotions without physically or behaviorally reacting to them right away. Give yourself time to feel and think about how you want to respond. This time could last a few hours to a few seconds. Even a few seconds can give us enough time to respond more appropriately than we would if we reacted immediately in the moment. I recommend practicing this concept until it becomes a bit easier and more natural before moving on to the next session. That way you'll be moving towards long-lasting changes in your life as opposed to a temporary concept we can think about for a few days and then regress back to our normal baseline behavior. Kind of like being on a crash diet, the quicker we lose weight, the quicker we put it back on. But when we lose weight slowly, we've now made permanent lifestyle changes instead of the quick fix crash diet. You're probably not going to do this perfectly right away. It's a work in progress for sure. In the beginning, success would be catching yourself reacting, stopping yourself and making these changes. Slowly and gradually, you'll begin to catch yourself a little quicker until finally you'll work on preventing the old behavior and replacing it with this new, more adaptive behavior. Then you keep practicing it until this new behavior becomes your new normal. So take your time, commit to making the change, be persistent, and take the time to be proud of yourself along the way. In the course classroom, please ask questions, share any challenges or successes you've had in this process. You can feel free to provide feedback to me or give support and encouragement to other participants. Good luck.